We'll do it live.
Are we? We're good. We're welcome. We're yes. We're here.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
Good. Okay.
we
Yeah,
here?
we're on.
Yeah.
I think we're here.
Are we?
Welcome.
Like
Welcome.
clockwork, man.
Like
The oil
clockwork.
machine.
Welcome to the Sea of
A
Souls,
little miscue there.
our live D&D stream brought to you by the Elder Brain. We are the Elder Brain, as always, and we're here with episode 71 of our D&D campaign, the last before our holiday break. Next week, there will be a one-shot run by Mr. Jack, taking the crew minus myself. I'll be away, but taking the rest through a holiday-themed one-shot. And then we'll be on break for 2 weeks over the holiday season for merriment and all the rest. And then we'll pick back up in January. So that is what our schedule looks like for the next few weeks. But tonight we're picking up right where we left off last week with some intense, interesting things going on. But do make sure that you follow us on all of the socials. You can check out our link tree for links to all of that. Do the subscribing, do the liking, do the the things with the stuff that you do online. Engagement. Yes, engage. All those things. We appreciate it. But yeah, we're glad that you're enjoying our content. We hope that you're enjoying our content. If you weren't, I guess you wouldn't be watching. So
they wouldn't have made it to this episode. So
that's true.
Yeah, this is episode like what, like 100 and something.
I mean 71, but
71. That's still pretty good.
It's basically there.
It's basically there. Yeah. Okay. All right, jumping in. To recap from last week, heading into the cellar beneath the wizard compound, you came upon a rather gruesome scene. Strange, giant worms munching on bones and corpses, some undead goblins wandering about. And behind the locked doors, you found the results of the wizard's experiments. Hello, cat.
Yeah, the juxtaposition of you narrating this gory graphic scene
while there's a cat just being like, hello, I'm cute.
See you later, Strawberry. There she goes.
One experiment in particular, labeled X03, seems to recognize Flick.
Oh, yeah.
But seems intent only on breaking free of its stasis to deal with you. Any recollection or connection, in its own words, is irrelevant beyond that. And as it targets Torque with an anti-magic cone, it begins to press against its magical restraints, glowing with violence and chaos as it seeks to free from its binds. Meanwhile, the inferno set by Fleck threatens to suffocate everyone in a cloud of toxic smoke. And as the ceiling, collapsed in by Talon, crumbles, you figure it might be time to escape. And so, we pick up in the cellar.
Kind of forgot that we ended mid-combat.
Yeah.
We did.
Right.
Tayland has dropped unconscious from inhaling smoke. As the fire rages on, the smoke begins to fill the room. Denari manages to pull Tayland back a little bit, just kind of enough out of the smoke. Flick and Torque in the room with the experiment as it has tried to take a couple shots at each of you, and seems that its breaking free is imminent. And so we will pick up right where we were at the top of the round.
I think first order of business is just getting getting the hell out of here, right?
That was kind of where we left things, yeah.
Yeah. So Flick, it is your turn. Experiment X03 is it's still kind of in its stasis. There's the two stasis crystals on either side of it. But as it's been kind of lashing out, you can see now that it is attempting to free itself of whatever force field is holding it in place. And it seems like it might be able to do that, as it's cast this anti-magic cone on Torque. Seems to be gaining some control of itself as it tries to move here.
Sorry, just for my own reference, this grate here, is that the where the rope leading back up is?
That's the one above. Yes. Yes.
Ooh, that could complicate things, but okay.
No, I know another way out.
Oh.
Scouted ahead and I found the way out.
So yeah, Flick, you found both the well, and the stairs to the exterior cellar entrance.
Oh yeah, the well.
So theoretically, you actually have 2 other ways out.
That's right.
But the doors were barred. Right? These doors here are locked or barred.
Those ones are locked from the other side, so you managed to go around and take a peek. But yeah, the locks are on the other side. And the cellar door, you recall, was locked from the outside as well. So it's possible you could break through, but you know, it might take some effort since they're locked from above.
Right. Okay.
None of those scrolls that we got last episode were a scroll of teleport, were they?
Yes, actually.
I was gonna say I think there is one.
I mean, it might not be the most efficient use of resources, but if we end up trapped down here, that could be our Hail Mary.
No.
All right, here's what's going to happen on Flick's turn. Going to here. Say hi to Dinar on the way by and just sort of. I'm gonna go get the doors open. You and the little guy grab Talon and we'll get the hell out of here. That's 30
Okay.
with an action. There. H flies 60. Move there and go up the well.
Okay.
So I'll have Paige on the outside. Meet me at the cellar doors.
Ah. Okay.
Smart.
Sounds good. SMRT.
And because I have the spell slots to spare, I will blow a 3rd level spell slot to Misty Step another 30.
Hey.
That much closer.
Why? The hipping and the glaving and the moving and the what?
All right, so Paige is up and out, and Flick just you just hear pat 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 off in the distance.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right.
And I'm clear of the fires. The rest of y'all are.
You are clear of the fire. Dinar, as you're pulling Talon out, trying to get him free, smoke continues to billow out of this room here. You do hear some crumbling from the other side, some kind of dirt pouring. You recall that Talon had blasted open the ceiling, hoping to create a chimney, essentially, for an avenue for the smoke to vanish. But it is beginning to fill this room. And so you're still kind of on the outskirts of it. You're not quite within it as far as having to hold your breath. But the entire room in here now is lightly obscured. So everything's got a little bit of extra, or whatever. It's getting hard to see. It's getting hard to breathe as smoke is expanding quickly. Torque. So
Let's see,
your magic items, weapons. So your Whelming Wrath, for example, anything magic that you have has gone innate. Kind of just become mundane.
Sure has.
As Exo3 is gazing in your direction, his eyes kind of glowing.
I am not going to disengage because I think I'm going to need to dash here potentially. Let's see, I have a 40-foot move speed, so 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can I Once I am out of the magic cone and out of this small space, because I am raging, this is sort of up to your decision, Craig, but uh do I become large once I have the room to do so, or because I began this rage in a small space, do I retain my usual size?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
Is an excellent question.
I don't think there's any official ruling for this, so it kind of just falls down on what you think is right.
Cool, man. Or is there some sort of check or something where you could try to make it happen? Clench really hard? Like, I don't know.
So, as part of your, because that's your Giant's Havoc feature, right? Or feat?
Yeah, so all the rules say is that if I rage in an area where I don't have the space to grow, then I just don't grow. It doesn't say whether, if I move to somewhere where I do have the available space, if I then grow, or if I'm just medium size for the remainder of my rage.
Well, I feel like if that were the case, that you would grow, that would be in there. That you would say, if while raging, if you then move to a space. But since it says when you rage, you don't grow if the space isn't big enough, so that the action is the moment you rage. So when you leave there, you're still in that same rage where you didn't grow. So I'm going to say that you're going to stay the same. It would require another instance of rage for you to be able to grow if you had the space.
What's your ruling on me being able to say use my mighty impel? Because there's nothing in the rules for this subclass that says that I have to be large in order to use my other abilities from this subclass.
If it doesn't specify that it's based on your size, then you can use it. There's no.
Okay.
Yeah.
My final question is: would picking up Talon be considered an object interaction, or?
It would be an action.
As I say, I'm not an object yet.
Yeah, it would be an object. Yeah.
Give him time.
You do provoke an opportunity attack as you run away from.
I kind of imagine
Exit 3, just throwing that towards you there. But that, yeah. So I'm assuming. So this is, you have moved. Your goal is to pick up Talon. Is that what you're going for?
My goal is to either pick up Talon or throw him 30 feet.
Okay.
In order to get him further away from the source of the smoke, depending on.
Okay. We'll get to that in a second. Did you reckless attacked?
Since this is the start of my round and I haven't done an attack yet, I'm not currently under the effects of reckless attack.
Okay. Or just because of your moving, and it's getting, yeah, I guess, okay. It's just a straight opportunity attack. Okay, so it's a 12 to hit you.
Yeah, that misses.
So to pick up Talon would be an action, especially because he's like dead weight right now.
Okay.
He can't be willing.
Well,
or
Dinar,
help in any way. So Dinar had to use an action to pull him back.
Yeah.
Okay, so with all due respect, Captain, you're not the most
Do you even lift,
physically endowed of us, so
Dost thou
I'm
even
going to
waste?
use my mighty impel to hurl you 30 feet this way.
I agree.
Okay, so I'm going to fling you there as a bonus action. Then, as an action, I'm going to pick up Talon and move the remaining 10 feet of my movement.
Okay. So Dinar, you've been tossed
Yeah, Dinar should be right here now.
by a turtle.
Right to the mouth of the well. I imagine it with this almost like sort of anime like physicality where I come bounding out of the smoke and then I like literally just like clothesline Dinar around the waist and then just
Yeah.
like all in just sort of like one motion. And he just kind of skids along the ground.
Fair enough.
We'll say that you gracefully tuck and roll.
Yes.
And just sort of use the momentum to carry yourself.
All right, and that's it for Torque.
That's all I can do, unfortunately. This round, anyway.
All right. Okay. He's going to keep the cone up. And turn it. Let me turn it.
It's got a wide field of vision.
Trying to turn it, but it's not letting me turn it right now.
It's a geometric shape that you drew in Roll20, right? Yeah, those things stink.
Their controls are brutal. Okay.
This week on How Has Roll20 Failed Us?
Yeah, the editing the shapes is always brutal. It seems to be one that's really like on the lighting layer and all that stuff. Like that's one of the worst issues.
I ended up making a set of cone templates.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did.
It's the best free VTT on the market.
Yes.
I'm gonna do it this way instead.
Certainly is.
Just do it that way. So it will, because he can see through the door as he comes, so it will get it's gonna get Talon.
No.
Might see Dinar as well, actually.
Oh, so yeah, so
he can
he's
see. Yes, he can see. So Dinar, Torque, and Talon, all of your magical effects. So any current existing spells, any magical items, just completely just go dead.
okay, but since Flick is behind cover, he is not considered in the cone of vision then.
Flick
correct?
is not affected by it. No. So Torque, you hear a kind of almost like a popping sound, like there's kind of a flashes, the blue and purple lights that you saw kind of from those stasis fields inside just wink out. And
as Torque hears that, he's not even going to turn around. He's just going to, like, with with Taylor just over his shoulder, he's just going to go. Just a little long, weary sigh.
yeah.
And then hold his breath because the smoke is coming.
Hey. So he's going to come out and he's going to target you, Torque, with Pulse. And that's a critical hit.
Ooh, yeah, that hits.
Well, we're starting off well.
Oh boy.
So you're already okay. So that's 18 plus 7 piercing. Plus
So it'll be
18
9 piercing because I am still raging.
Well, 18 plus 7 total piercing. So that's 18.
25.
So 25. So 12 piercing. And then
32 psychic kind of
32
sucks.
psychic damage.
Oh.
Oof.
And Torque, what do we have? What items do you have on you?
Like magic items.
No, just random items.
Random non.
I have a length of rope.
What do we see? We got you got a hand axe, javelin.
I don't have a maul. The maul is gone.
Right. The one of your hand axes just shatters as you get hit by this pulse of energy You just kind of feel it go and just like slam into you, and you hear kind
That's
of
concerning.
a cracking sound as you look down, and when your hand axis is just it almost like broken from within. Like it's less like something hit it and shattered it, as it more just kind of went like broke apart into pieces and kind of just fell apart onto the ground.
We're in trouble.
Talon is
danger.
unconscious. Talon is not dying.
I'm
though.
in danger.
However, since Talon, you're unconscious, but you're breathing, so you are involuntarily breathing in smoke at this point, as you are now unconscious. So I'm going to get you to make a constitution. Well, actually, would you automatically fail a con save?
What are the
Or you
rules
make it
for
or
unconscious?
what do you make it a disadvantage? That's what I'm wondering.
We have rules for this.
Oh,
I, for one, think he should automatically save. Just throwing that out there. Just,
An unconscious creature is incapacitated, can't move or speak, unaware of surroundings.
It just says I
Creature
fail
automatically
strength and dex
fails
saves.
dexterity and strength saving throws, but doesn't say anything about constitution.
This is a con save.
Yeah, so I just make the
So-
save, I guess.
I
Yeah,
guess you
rules
just make
as
the
written.
I
save,
mean, look,
yeah.
don't everybody get too excited. I'm not great at con saves. 7.
oh, jeez.
All right. You are suffocating.
Oh, great. I can survive for 2 rounds.
Yep. You're now officially suffocating.
The door open in one, I promise.
Dinar,
Yep.
you can't get thrown towards the grate here, and a moment later you just feel. I have no idea what just happened. Something fell. You feel all your magic items, everything, all your magic about you just fail. Your ability to cast magic, your connection to weave, like you feel it's just not there. Like it's not at your fingers. You have nothing.
Dinar does not like this feeling. Obviously. This cone of anti-magic, is it visible?
No.
Like, do I see something, or do I just all of a sudden?
Nope. You just feel it.
Okay, but I'm familiar. We faced something like this before, right? With the cone of anti-magic, haven't we?
There was a
I feel like we might have.
Yeah, there were like little eye things, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
The Sentinel also had some anti-magic ability.
Oh yeah.
thing around the dragon egg.
There's a few different things that, yeah. So you know that once it happens, you're like, oh, I've been hit by a smooth criminal,
Struck
but
by.
Smooth criminal.
yes, we're all on the same page with that.
That's
what you hear.
Yeah.
It's not visible. It's just you just hear.
Talon's mumbling out of the side of his mouth, even though he's unconscious.
Talking in his sleep, yeah.
Smooth criminal.
Okay, I just saw Torque get really hurt. But I think Dinar is just going to have to move because there's really nothing that I can do without my magic. Aside from throw a dagger at him, which probably won't work.
I've got Talon. You look after yourself.
Alright, then Dinar is going to go 5, 10, 15. I'm assuming once I get around the corner, I feel something again.
Yes.
So 15 to there. Is there anything that I can do from here that's going to help Torque? I don't think so.
Ready in action to cast teleport.
Well, I mean, that might not be the bad idea. So I was there 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I can get next to Flick. So I think that's what I'm going to do is I'll finish my movement here. And then I think I'll whip out. If I ready it and Torque doesn't get to me, does that burn the scroll? That burns the scroll, doesn't it?
What? Sorry?
If I ready the teleport scroll for Torque to get here, and Torque doesn't get here in the next round, at the start of my next turn, it's used, or it's spent, right?
If that's, it's all about with the ready actions and stuff, right? And it's like it's
Readying a spell, you cast the spell and burn the slot.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you maintain concentration until the trigger happens.
Okay, so I'm reading the scroll.
So if the trigger happens,
and waiting on that
then
last arcane symbol, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah, so that if you have the trigger as soon as Torque gets here,
Okay.
that's your held action, and then he doesn't get there.
Let me just make sure that I understand how teleport works before I commit to this. Sorry.
I mean, I'm gonna open the door.
yeah. And also, I've got. I can move at least 80 feet if I dash. So.
Yeah, but who wants to use a door when you can?
Well, I'm just concerned that like you're gonna get to the door, but we're still gonna have to outrun this thing that is killing Torque.
I mean, killing is a strong word.
You're below half health. When was the last time you were below half health?
You make a compelling point, however.
You're right.
Killing is not the same as killed.
That's fair.
The only hit point that matters is the last one, okay? We're good.
In the words
Getting
of
Talon out of the smoke is also gonna.
Fabria.
So teleport takes up to 8 willing creatures to a destination that I select. So there's not a distance limitation on this. It just has to be on the same plane of existence. Okay.
There's a chance that could glitch and send us to the wrong place.
You have to be familiar with it.
Oh, I'm very.
If you're not familiar with where you're going, then
I am very familiar with my captain's quarters.
Interesting.
Which would get us right back to Enhold.
But then that also leaves
I know
a bunch of recently liberated goblins alone with this thing.
Oh,
maybe
crap.
we don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, forget it. That you're absolutely right. Mike
Yeah,
forgot
so
about that. Dinar would not have forgotten about that. Okay.
Let's,
Dinar's gonna get to
let's-
here.
Let's table.
And he'll ready a firebolt in the event experiment terror it comes around the corner quicker than I'm expecting.
That's not how you pronounce that, but no.
Well, X03, I'm going to translate that to terror in my brain. So that'll be my turn. I'll move to there. I'll ready a firebolt in case the experiment comes around the corner and it's not Torque or Talon.
That is an oddly clinical classification system for these experiments. If the wizards are the ones performing them, usually wizards have a bit more panache with this sort of thing, which is making me curious.
Experiment amazeballs.
Yeah, no, like they wouldn't call it experiment like X03. They'd call it like the homunculus of arcane suppression.
All right, that's my turn.
All right, top of the round, Flick.
All right. So we are how far underneath the surface? We figure. Like how
30
deep is-
feet.
30 feet? Okay. Paige will fly to the cellar doors. I will use my movement to get to the top of the stairs.
Okay.
And I'll use my action to put my senses into Paige. So I now see through Paige's eyes.
Okay.
I'll then bonus action Misty Step to a spot I can see within 30 feet, which is the other side of the door, through Paige's eyes.
So, Ian, I'm going to give you a quick glance of what Paige sees.
All right, still looking good out here.
Okay. So you see, Paige can see down here that the ground indeed has collapsed and has begun. There's a sinkhole that has formed. So the side of the building here has actually broken open. You can see some smoke that is starting to rise up.
Well
through
done,
the
Taylor.
ground.
Well done.
We're venting a little bit, but not as quickly as we had hoped.
Venting.
Captain only compliments me when I'm unconscious. I get it.
So yes, I will Misty Step to a spot I can see, which is right next to Paige. But unfortunately, I have no, unless it's very plainly like, is this door locked? It's barred. Well, I can't remember how it was secured.
So what Paige sees is basically there's where the two doors kind of meet. There's like the two handles, and there's a chain looping the two handles and a lock on the chain.
All right, so not a simple object interaction. So it'd take me another turn to unblock it if I. But if I'm there, so yes, I will still do that then. So, I'll bonus action. So yeah, Misty Step says it just has to be a place that I can see. When I'm looking through Paige's eyes, I can see on the other side of the door.
That is true.
So I will put myself on the other side of the door that way.
Okay. So, Ian is going to be there.
My object interaction, I'll take a good kick at that lock. Like, if it's a rusty old lock that'll snap off, I'll be happy. But I'm assuming it's gonna be something I pick.
Okay, give me a strength check. Or athletic
strength.
Yeah, you're giving a kick at it.
All right, one strength check coming up. Ding, there's an 11.
It's a little bit more durable than that, so yeah,
Figured,
probably going to require some lock picking.
All right, but that is again the extent of my actions for this turn.
Okay, the fire is no longer spreading out into the room as it has now begun to go up.
Is that better?
Collapsed
I don't
hole.
think that's better.
Well, it's by me. Okay.
So Torque, you're carrying tail end. You start running. You see the smoke has started to. It's still kind of like lingering, right? Like it's not just like, oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
But it's not filling out anymore. You can see instead of coming out into the room, it seems to now be being pulled in a different direction.
So still holding his breath, Torque is going to run. Let's see, 30, 35, 40. I'm going to take the dash action. When I get to here, I'm going to take the dash action to move another 40 feet. Let's see, 30, 35, 40.
Looks not there.
And these stairs lead up to open air, more or less.
So above you right now is the stone like cellar doors. So this is where Flick has gone above. So there's cellar doors. So the stairs like go up, and then the doors are just closed. So you can see like light coming through like the cracks, but you're basically on one side, and Flick is now up above it on the other side there. So
Okay.
I'll call through. I get the lock in a sec. Just hang on.
As a bonus action, I'm going to Mighty Impel and just sort of underhand throw Tail into the top of the stairs. Bodily.
all right.
No, I don't do that. I'll still be carrying him. That'd be a bit too mean, even for Torque. That will be the end of my turn, though.
Okay. X3's turn. Putting that up at the moment, so he will turn his anti-magic gaze off. And let's see. Yeah. It's more interested in just exiting at this point, I think, than necessarily engaging, but... Yeah, I can do that. Or actually get to there.
Oh, wait. Would that pathway have been available to us?
Yeah.
How did it get through the locked doors?
It phased.
Oh no. That's cheating.
Well, it is basically, it is cheating. It's a thing that has been created to defy physics by using the void and chaos magic. So that's literally what it is. It just kind of stops at the corner though and looks up at you, Torque, and it's almost got like it has no facial features, like you can't really, expression you can't really gauge, but almost like a contemplating or observing, where it's just kind of like watching you. But it doesn't attack. It doesn't make any hostile action at this moment.
As much as Torque would like to engage, he's got other priorities at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So the good news is Talon is no longer suffocating.
Hooray!
Sorry,
Huzzah!
That is good news.
Since you're not in smoke anymore, but you're still unconscious. So
Yes.
yeah. Dinar.
So I can see through this hole in the wall that the experiment is right there?
Yeah. I will note as well, it's not on the ground. So it is actually like hovering.
Floating?
Yeah, a little bit off the ground, and it's just kind of like moving.
We're all gonna move before it.
It's probably just had a shot tonight, so.
So 5, 10, 15, 20. 25 would get me out the door. Oh, my screens are not in sync. Where is Torque actually? At the top of the stairs?
At the bottom.
Oh, why does that screen show him at a different place? That's strange. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, and then I'll go 25 out the door behind Flick. Wait, the door's open, right?
No.
He misty
stepped or misty stepped to the other side using Paige's vision so that he can pick the lock that is currently blocking the door.
My screen's not matching. It's really messing me up.
It's all part of my master plan.
15.
Totally under control out here. Just hang tight.
Yeah, you guys you can hear each other. Like there's
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, I'm giving reassuring words through this door. It's like, oh yeah, it's great out here. Don't worry.
Yeah, there's only about like 4 inches between you guys. Like, good, decent sized thick door, but.
So I can't get out before its next turn. 5, 10, 15 to there. Shoot, I'm not sure where to go.
Could ready a dash.
Yeah.
Run out once the doors are
It's
open.
there. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. I'll go back to here, and I'll ready a dash to get out the doors once they're open.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be my turn. I hate not having any spell slots. I got so many things that I could have done, but I've got nothing. No ability right now.
Flip
Oh,
that
tapped.
taken out of
Yeah.
initiative.
Just about to say, seems like we're missing someone.
Because I removed his token from that one page to put him on the other here.
Oh.
So we are back. We're topping around here. So Flick it is.
All right.
So Dinar, you're ready in action, but it's just gone because it's a new round. So, well, I guess it's before your turn.
It's his turn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's before your turn. Never mind, not before the round. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. I will, I guess, bust out the thieves' tools and hope I can get this door open. Because if I don't,
Okay.
I'm really bad.
Well, it's always plan B.
Here we go.
So Mike, because you can see through Flick, if you go to the other page that I have him on, you should be able to see. I think for stream, he's on Wizard Enclave. Right? Can you can't change pages. Never mind.
Mike definitely doesn't know how to do that.
No, you can't do that. I'm
sorry.
Never mind. I was saying, I'm like, I can change pages. You can't change pages. I mean, I can temporarily put you on that page, I guess, so you can see. It's the only thing with doing multiple pages is that stream can only see one page at a time.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, now I see where
Believe me that I'm on the outside of the door and I rolled an 18 with my thieves' tools, which is pretty below average.
18. Okay, yeah. That'll do it as you manage to
Perfect.
pop open the lock and remove the
Heave-ho
chain.
and pull the chain back, and hopefully the door will disappear.
So Dinar, you had rated in action.
Yep. Once the door was open, I wanted to dash through it.
Okay, so then in that case, Dinar, you will join Flick.
Whoa!
Hey.
You will join Flick at the top there, and the others can see up.
A piece of cake.
How tall is the staircase? Like, how long does it go on for in feet?
It's about 30 feet.
Okay.
So you're up at it, you can say.
I don't know what this thing behind me is capable of. I don't know if it has anything that can like immobilize me. So, I'm going to take the disengage action
Ooh.
in order to run up the steps. I am no longer raging, worth mentioning, because I did not attack or get attacked in the last round. So disengage, run to the top of the stairs. We now know that it can walk through walls, so shutting the door behind me seems silly. But I think Torque might still do it anyway, just sort of on instinct.
That's fair.
Okay.
And he's still carrying Talon this whole time, of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Captain, you may want to send a message to the other goblins that they should get out of the building as soon as possible.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
All right, so Torque, you can still see Exo3 at the bottom of the stairs, kind of looking down as you come up to the top there.
Until I shut the door in his face, anyway.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, you are shutting the door. Okay. Okay.
Maybe it'll slow him down. Maybe he can't phase as fast as he can walk.
Okay.
Maybe it's lead line to keep him in. Who knows?
So you don't actually hear or see any pursuit as you leave, and you remember that it was kind of just watching almost out of curiosity as you leave and turn the door and slam the door behind you. There's a moment where you all kind of wait on guard. No sign of it. Doesn't follow.
Right.
Look at that. Look at these.
Captain, do you have any spell slots left to message the goblins, or should I go back into the building?
No, we're close enough. I can message him without using spell energy like that.
So what you do notice, you all can see now, like down here, that the ground has in fact like caved in, and there is smoke like billowing up out of the ground, creating a rather black, acrid smoke cloud that is indeed rising up. You can hear a bit of collapsing as well. Like,
yeah,
it sounds like you can see part of the wall here. It looks like that part of the ground has shifted, and so there's actually like gaps in the wall that have broken open.
I can't imagine any of those chemicals were clean burning.
Yes, you've definitely increased your carbon footprint here in New Dora,
A bit.
carbon or other chemicals.
Heard of dioxins? They're great.
All right. Well, I
So
will.
what's the plan?
I will send just a regular message. Wire it between his fingers and point over to where we left the goblins, which is just the other side of this wall.
Okay. So while you're doing that, Talon, can you go ahead and give me another con save here?
Can do.
Oh yeah, we need to get Talon up.
8.
Okay. So you don't come to. So he's not. Talon is not. He's in a deep sleep at the moment. Like, he's unconscious. He's not getting worse. He's not dying. He's just out cold. And he
Hopefully the smoke didn't.
So right now, that roll was essentially to see if you woke up on your own or not. If your body kind of brings you to, but you're still kind of just.
So am I sleeping right now?
Yeah. Technically, well, you're unconscious.
You started a long rest ahead of us.
Well, I'm just. It's yeah. So I'm unconscious, which is not necessarily the same as like asleep. Like, I'm not necessarily.
No, it's not
dreaming.
You're passed. You're passed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
passed out.
Got it.
If we're lucky, maybe the smoke damaged his vocal cords.
How is that good? That messes everything up.
It's good for me.
The truth now comes out.
I can't
Thor
bardic
looks at the
inspire
others and is
you
like,
anymore.
Too soon.
I mean, he's not even cold yet.
So it's 71. The truth comes out. Torque pulls out the like wads of like wax and like that he's been wearing this whole time.
I feel like Torque being annoyed by Talon isn't exactly a new development.
Not at all.
No.
I don't know why you're acting like this came out of nowhere.
No, it's just funny that the timing in the moment, I think, is what it's funny. So anyway, Dinar was sending a message.
Yeah, so I will pull out my copper wire and shoot a message over to the goblins. I don't know where to tell them to go, though.
Just get out of the house.
Come
That's all
outside.
they need to do is get out of the house.
They've at least roamed around the house. They know there are exits. Don't go out the front door where the lasers are. Otherwise,
Well, Craig, I'm just seeing that the map is modified to reflect the
Yeah,
damage. Nice.
Yes, because
How immersive.
somebody ripped open a hole in the ceiling down there, and
Very nice, huh?
the ground collapsed and caved in. So
Very cool attention to detail.
All right, so I will send a message to the
when
goblins.
my players change things on me.
what you talking about?
So I will send a message over to the goblins. Which one should I send it to?
Slash Grimes, fingers and scalp. Grimes, probably you recall probably won't answer.
I'll send it Slash then.
Okay.
Building's going up in smoke. We unleashed some horrifying creature. Get out of the house. We'll tell you where to meet us.
Okay.
Remember to tell them don't go out the front door. Lasers.
Don't go out the front door. There's lasers.
Find a hole in the wall and just get out.
Or make a hole in the wall and get out.
I mean, there are already some holes.
It's true. We've made a
here.
couple.
They might just scamper out here.
No response.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting a response, but that's okay. Hopefully they at least got the message. I think for now we need to get away from the building and just see where it comes out or if it comes out.
So it's been a minute or so. Talon, give me another con save.
Alrighty. 7.
You're having a good sleep. Not restful, but
We would like be doing like some like CPR or something to like help him on this, or
well, it's a question. Are you? I mean, if you are, then that's yeah. If you want to render some
little mouth to mouth from the
medicine.
goblin, that sounds
if you want
right.
to do a medicine check, somebody.
Oh, please let me. I'd love to roll some medicine. Some goblin medicine coming up here. Here we go. Hey, it's a dirty 20. I know exactly
Flick,
what to do.
Flick, how do you wake Talon up?
Ooh, that's an important question.
I've been in enough cave-ins that I know how this goes. So I actually lock my lips around his nose and blow while simultaneously give him a little clap on the throat to make sure that it comes up out his mouth.
Okay.
And bada boom, bada bing. Works every time.
So I will say, Talon is breathing. He's just unconscious, so he doesn't necessarily need CPR. But somewhere in the subconscious,
to dissuade him from
somewhere
doing this.
in the subconscious of Talon, realizing that Flick is now like blowing into his nose. there's the subconscious of Talon goes like ah, and wakes him up.
Beautiful.
Your voice is raspy and raw.
I think
just from burns.
Talon doesn't slowly rouse or sort of like come to. He like jerks upright, gasping for air and like almost like clawing in front of him, eyes wide, sweat pouring off of him, hair like matted to his head, and he's gasping for air for a good amount of time, and then kind of coughs, and kind of looks down almost as if he expects something, grabs onto his chest and just sort of kind of looks around, desperately trying to breathe a little bit harder, and then looks very confused in the light. What?
Look, give you a little clap on the cheek and just say, "Hey there, all better now. Ready to face the day?"
Oh. Yeah. Just kind of wipe back the sweat. Yeah. Shaky hand reaches in and just pulls out a flask. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Toxic fumes and I are old friends back from the mines, but
What? Right, the smoke, yes. Yeah. I'm guessing that worked.
like a
Peering
charm.
through the trees here, Talon, you can see your handiwork as the ground has caved in.
Behold.
You hear from behind you, and you turn to see Killian there. Gentlemen, glad to see that you've escaped from Well, your goblin friends said that you went down below, and then there was noises and other things were happening. Tayland, I heard you startled. It sounded like you. Thought I'd come and see. What exactly is what is transpiring? What is all of this about? Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so. We are, right? Yes?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
half
we're
past
all
time to
alive.
go.
We unleashed some sort of thing down there, so
I'm missing one of my boarding axes, but I
Some sort of
think I can live without that, all things considered.
Some sort
That's
of
pretty
thing.
par for the course for us. So
Interesting. Was this some sort of thing, almost mechanical looking, purplish sort of strange runes?
yeah, it's the fella.
you seem to know something about this.
That
Well, no, we just saw
is familiar sounding.
this. If this is some sort of thing that just sort of randomly appeared in where we were in the kitchens, actually, which goblins were trying to find some scraps to eat there. It just appeared, took a look at everybody, and then sort of phased through the wall and is gone. Is that some sort of thing that you awoke, or whatever it is that you said?
Yeah, that sounds about
Nobody
right.
really seems to slash, and I mean, nobody really seemed to understand what it was. It looked fairly goblinish, I suppose, but it strange sort of automaton thing. Wizard experiment, I suppose, or creation, I don't know. But
Definitely some kind of experiment.
walked through the wall and no idea.
That would be handy.
But startled us quite a bit, but we've found some scraps. Flick, are you hungry? We've got there's some good rotten food. Slash assures me that he's found. If you could use a bite, you look a bit famished, but nothing that I want to eat, I don't think. But
Yeah, no, let them eat their fill. They've had a harder go than me.
understood, of course. Dinar, while you were gents were down there, whatever it was you were doing, I was curious about that rune. You know, that glyph of warding. Remember the one that was on that strange door?
Yeah.
Yes. I touched it. It hurt.
Shocking.
Literally, actually, yes.
Oh,
Bazing.
It is still there. But now we know what it does.
well, thank you for being our guinea pig, I suppose.
Forgive my curiosity. I got curious. It's sitting around, not really sure what I could do. So I thought, well, I didn't really think. I'll be honest. It was just sort of one of those impulsive thoughts you have where you're just like, I shouldn't, but I should.
Dinar's gonna give a little side eye towards Flick.
Yeah, we're kind of familiar with that.
Dinar's gonna think back to himself.
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with that too.
Yeah, it's a bit smoky out here. Interesting. Well,
Don't get too close to that smoke. It's quite toxic. You do not want to inhale that.
I don't. Yes, even if it wasn't toxic, I wouldn't want to. But point taken. I think I'll head back to the kitchen, unless you want me to show you that rune. But otherwise, I'm having some good conversation with the goblin fellows there, so I think I'll head on back that way. Yes, whenever we're ready to leave, let me know. I guess we can. Unless there's anything else to do, I don't know. I don't know. What's the plan, gentlemen? He seems like having no idea what you guys have encountered down there. He's just like, everything's great. Like, a bit thrown off by what he saw, but otherwise he's just like, so what's happening?
That is a terrific question.
I mean, we got what we came here for, right? and some bonus fries, but
Bonus fries.
As much as I would have preferred that we set fire to the building after we were no longer in it, I don't really have the energy to give a lecture right now. I think that we should just get as far away from this thing as possible.
We hear an explosion from inside the house.
As quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Fleck, you know this type of explosion, and who or what may have
Oh,
had a hand in
Oh,
certain
Had
demolitions.
left a hand in it, maybe. Yeah. That sounds like a finger special. Is that was? Who was blowing up what? What direction was that from?
Came from in the house. The call's coming from inside the house. Give me a perception with advantage because this will be hearing based with your fantastic
Perception
ears.
with advantage. Ooh, dirty 21.
Probably roughly near the center of the house where said glyph of wording on the door would have been
Oh.
located.
That is one way to get through that damn door.
And then as you say that and you hear the sound, Killing kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh no, I shouldn't have left them, should I?" And he just like runs back into the house.
No, Torque will just like grab him by the arm and be like, "Do not run into a burning building." Trust me, as someone who has been around a lot of burning buildings,
Yes, well, the
usually
burning is
the-
down
the
there.
cause of them.
Right. Well, I will get close, but not in. So I don't see any smoke or hear. Right. Well, what should we do then?
Look, I'm assuming that your friends can handle themselves
I mean,
from here.
obviously at this point, maybe Dookie would like a proper escort back to wherever he's from.
Just and hold at the very least. I think is the place you'd mentioned where I can perhaps secure a ship, some passage, or figure out some other way to get back to Heaven's Reach. It's really what's my priority is to get back there, figure out everything that's transpired over the past 500. I still can't get used to that. Oh dear, what a day!
like, do your friends need a ride anywhere? Like, are we just leaving them?
All right, look. Those wizards have messed these guys up a lot. Or something not right going on here, because nobody that knows me from back home should have been happy to see me.
Okay.
Like maybe once the gratitude wears off, they'll start showing their true colors, but yeah, the way they handle escapes, not pleasant.
To be fair, I didn't exactly expect anyone to be happy to see me when we came to Valtier.
Yeah, but like the overseers would seek out closest friends and family and execute just enough of them so that the rest of them would feel resentment towards whoever got away, causing that carnage. Ish, like as far as I know, whoever survived doesn't want to see me anyway. So what's going on here is not tracking.
What do you propose we do then? Take off before they have the chance to find us and potentially act on this bad blood?
No, we take them back to Anhold with us, and we'll find a spot to give them could dump him there. I mean, Izar's there. We can dump him with Izar. Maybe he can explain it to him. But
I doubt he'll be able to return to any semblance of his previous life, though.
oh yeah, Dookie. Yeah, Dookie. We can just put him on a boat and send him on his way.
Sure. But perhaps it would be best to ask if he would be seeking something new to do. I mean, there might be certain newly created lords who have land that is in reasonably good care, but could use the touch of someone who understands these things a little bit better and is humble enough and self-aware enough to be, a decent enactor of certain ideals.
Are you trying to hire yourself a chancellor? Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I can't replace you as a chamberlain, but
Sorry, were you talking about you? Being humble enough to accept the help of somebody?
I was talking about our new Duke friend.
With all due respect, as someone who spent 10 years away from civilization, I'm not sure what good someone who spent the last 500 years in a mirror would be when it comes to navigating current affairs.
Well, that's the thing, right? You give him access, he gets a library, he can read up on some stuff, the people there can inform him as to what's relevant. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if you were a noble 500 years ago, you understand how to be a noble now. They don't seem to ever change. It's very easy to be a noble. You just forget the word noble and do whatever you want.
Ah, so you think of them as you think of wizards.
What's the difference?
Straightens an imaginary time.
No respect, I tell you.
All right, well, yeah, we got to at least Vamoose out of here, and we'll sort it out on the road.
mean, look,
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're having this whole conversation while
we can present him with
the
options.
building is just on fire.
The goblins are clearly going to be hired onto our crew. We can present Duke with some options and see which he would prefer.
Speaking of which, Colleen has sort of slowly wandered away from you guys into the building. His curiosity getting the better of him.
We never did figure out what that portal was at the back here, did we?
No.
That weird thing at the back was. Do we want to look at that before we abandon this place?
Well, did Killian say which direction
as long
the
as we're
experiment
here.
was going?
Hey, Flick, go in there, round up all your buddies, make sure they're fed well. Tell them that, there's lots more where that came from. We can put them on the ship. And Dinar, we should go take a look at that thing back there with Willie. Just in case, they left, these wizards left some nasty surprise behind. And, we might want to make sure that that's not going to be a thing.
Okay. So you've got the teleport circle over there to investigate, and then the glyph is sort of in the center of the house, which is where the boom came from.
Yeah,
All right,
Flick
I will go see what
should
those
go investigate in there, yeah.
childish miscreants have been up to. I will dismiss Paige for right now, just because I wanted to get incinerated in the ensuing blast. Running low on fancy paper.
So Flick, you see that Fingers has blown up the side of the door and has basically blown a hole through. Having found something to concoct together, You remember, like he pretty much make a bomb out of anything.
Yeah.
And he's blown a hole through the door and is now kind of like peeking his head in. And he's definitely got some scorch marks down his side. But just kind of peeking through the door, you see that there are treasure chests.
Ooh.
A whole lot of them.
Hey, Fingers. Another Cheese Whiz special there?
Yeah.
Thought I smelled a little nacho in the air.
The rotten bananas, the potassium. There's some other chemicals they had in there for cooking. It's already rotten and they mix it together and it was already ready to go. Bam.
I mean,
great.
You are the man, Fingers. All right.
What a goblin
Still got the ones on this hand.
If goblins like things that taste gross, would they just like slam back an entire bottle of vanilla extract if they got their hands on it?
Oh, absolutely.
Probably.
Well,
Delicacy.
the breath it gives you afterwards is just terrible. But,
So
right.
you see a whole room full of treasure chests.
Whole room full of treasure chests. Well, that looks inviting.
Nice.
And the other three, were all three of you guys going off to the teleport circle, or was it just?
I think it was just me and Dinar, unless Torque is interested, but I don't know what Torque can do to a teleportation circle other than destroy it.
I mean, Torque will come along just to be looped in, I guess.
Doesn't want to feel left out.
I mean, if something comes out of the teleportation circle and starts
That's
attacking.
true.
There you go.
You can come as our bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you guys
kids.
are heading over there. Flick, what do you want to do?
Quick inspection to see whether these are locked and or trapped.
Okay. The door seems to have been the primary guarding mechanism. The glyph is still there, by the way,
Oh yeah, no.
on the door. He blew open like a bottom portion of it, like goblin-sized hole in like the bottom left where the hinges are to like bypass it and get through. It's pretty impressive, actually.
So I think what we'll end up doing then is just to start sliding the chests out through the door, through that hole, so we can open
Okay.
them up.
All right, sounds good.
Oh,
So-
so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 10 of them in there. Okay.
So while you're doing that, Killian will get involved to help you as well, and Slash kind of comes in.
Open
and,
these bad boys up. What do we got?
Yeah. So as you guys are moving that out, we'll so you probably take a few minutes to do that.
Mhm.
Circle team.
Yee. Team Circle!
So it's a work in progress, the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You moved us. Okay.
Team Rotary.
Yeah. Rotary Club. Wait.
The Rotary!
Club Rotisserie. Wait, what? So there is indeed an active teleportation circle in this room that is glowing with arcane energy. Why don't we get a Arcana check from
I was just,
one or both, or Torque can make the Arcana check, and you guys can help.
Go
me.
for it, Torque.
With my big old
Send-
+1.
Send your gecko in there and then like look through its eyes as you do so. Well, that won't work. Wait a minute.
I mean, I'll roll it. I might get a flash.
If
of-
only
of
one of us was
divine
a
inspiration.
warlock.
Am I rolling? Oh, he's rolling. Okay.
Yeah, I got a 7, so you might want to take the reins here.
That's some magic there.
Mm.
Is anybody
The circle
helping?
appears to be circular.
All right, Dinar beat my 17.
Well, only just. I rolled an 11 plus my 8, so 19.
Oh, you did.
You were the closest without going. over.
Well, I roll
That's
higher
right, yeah,
on the die.
blackjack.
and,
You did roll higher
that's
on the
what
die,
really
it's true.
counts.
All right.
We all know that's
Um,
actually what matters.
So you do see runes inscribed. There's the set of runes that actually make up the teleportation circle, and then there are inscriptions that looks like on the wall there's a very rough map. It's not like a full map of the Broken Isles. It's like rough approximation
Okay.
with some locations that are marked out. And you realize that this teleportation circle links to a number of other ones, actually.
Oh.
And you're
Wait.
able to determine the following locations that can be teleported to.
Oh, interesting.
So you scroll down, there's the
Yeah.
list there. Some of these, Dinar, strike you as interesting, as including Heaven's Reach, locations that are east in the Darelands, not in the Broken Isles. There are 4 locations further east.
I'm guessing that the italicized ones are all the ones that we have not personally been to before.
Those are the ones that are east. Those are the ones that are
Yeah.
in the Darelands, which is where
Okay.
Dinar is from. So they're the mainland.
Hey, can you go do your court martial really fast with this?
Yeah, speed run. Any percent?
That's Stormhaven, and that is not on this list.
Yeah.
No.
I find it interesting that this will. So, can you find out where it was last used, like where it was either teleported from or teleported to?
Transporter logs.
Because
Well,
maybe we can figure out where these guys came from or were going.
Dinar is working towards teleportation, but I couldn't use this right now, right? Because I can't do teleport.
Is this teleportation circle?
It's a teleportation
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah,
Then
which
I would presume that'd be the case, right? You
Yeah.
generally need to at least have the spell.
yeah.
But now that you know this exists, that's good for when you do get teleport.
Well,
I'd
yes,
still be curious
yeah.
where they came from, just for our own knowledge.
I mean, we've seen teleportation circles before. This one is like glowing
a
and
special
active, whereas the other ones were
So-
just inert until somebody
So
activated.
what
it.
you understand from this as active as in like it can be used at any point, like it's open,
Okay.
so somebody could use it right now to appear here or use it to go somewhere else.
Interesting.
There wouldn't
If you
really
want
be
to
much
try and
come home
figure
to
out-
now, but
It'd be a separate Arcana check if you really wanted to try and figure out where it last went. It's not impossible, but
High DC.
pretty challenging. If you knew the teleportation circle spell, it'd be
Yeah,
easier,
it'd be
but
easier.
you'd be more familiar with it. But
Well, I can't make any promises, Talon, but let me
you
take
guys
a look.
can put your heads together and use advantage if you
mean-
want, or you can both roll. Again.
When was the last time you did make a promise?
I try my best not to.
It's probably pretty smart, actually.
So is Talon helping Dinar? To
If I
the best
can.
of his ability?
Okay, yeah.
I
so
mean,
go-
Torque will just
I mean,
watch
I could-
with his arms folded.
I could give you a bardic inspiration if you really want.
Torque's
I
the one being like, they say something like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. Mhm, yeah,
Torque's the S-man behind us.
yeah, that one. Yeah,
Mhm,
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Torque is the member of
I-
the group project that maybe bring the snacks.
The encouragement.
I imagine if,
it'd be all right if you'd figure out this thing.
I imagine that in order for this to make sense, Dinar is giving Talon a small crash course on arcane symbols, so that he
Look,
can
I'll just get.
he
Look,
can
I'm
help
just
to
gonna
kind
give
of
you-
point out things as I'm researching.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna give you bardic inspiration, man. That's just a better way to do this.
All right, let's do that then. So that's a D.
I mean, I suppose I could do both technically.
Could you do both?
Well, one's
Yeah.
a bonus action and one's an action, so yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah,
All right.
The math
I
checks out.
guess let's do it.
And so the bardic is a D8 now.
It's a D8, and then I'll be giving you advantage.
Okay, so I will roll 3 dice. 2 of them
Hey.
D20s.
Hey, did you notice that I'm looking at the chart in this book that you were showing me, and it actually doesn't match what you told me. So, are you wrong, or is the book wrong? I mean, I'm inclined to think you're wrong, but I figured I would double check.
I'm
Great
not.
inspiration there.
I'm inclined to think that you're wrong.
Tayland or me?
Yes.
Yes. Craig, I rolled a 16 plus 8,
Okay.
so 24. And then for the
Okay.
Bardic, I rolled a 3, so 27.
27. Okay. I mean, basically 25 or higher. You're getting
Woo.
into the
Good job with the
so
Bardic.
27. Okay. It takes you a bit. So we'll say this is probably the whole time you're over here while the chests are being opened. It's taking you quite a bit of time to figure this out. But you're looking at you're trying to figure out based on the locations that are listed, and you can kind of see some faint residue from different glowing runes, and picking out a pattern of which ones might have activated. And you gather that the most recent destination, so somebody actually traveled from here rather than arriving from somewhere. It was used to go somewhere, and that was to Norhold.
Norhold is on this island, right? It's just to the north?
Yes.
Okay.
And so on the list, you realize that there's like kind of the main location, and then there's the more specific, like where. So like Norhold Cove hideout. So it gives you the idea that it's probably not like in Norhold, but it's near Norhold. So for example, Enhold Shoreline Estate is where you guys are. You're not actually in Enhold, but you're close to Enhold, is how they've sort of described each place, how they've listed it.
Cove hideout, okay.
So somebody went from here to a cove hideout near Norhold.
Oh.
So while all of that
Go ahead.
is going on, Flick, you're pouring through, you're pulling all these chests out and opening them. You find some rather interesting things. So the general treasures you find is, I'm going to throw this up for you here.
Oh.
All right.
So this chest has got a bunch of potions in it. A couple of the chests are empty, so it looks like they would have held things at some point, but don't have anything in them currently. There's one that literally has only a bag of holding in it, and it's got like space around it, and a sign that's attached to it that's like, "Do not store anything with." And knowing a little bit about magic and sort of, pocket dimensions, you're like, yeah, okay. some precautions in there. You also find some very specific items. One is, these are close together. They're in chests that are next to each other. One is a metallic disc that actually fits kind of in the palm of your hand. It's very lightweight. It's got like a purplish hue. And it's got some runes glowing on it. It has like an energy that like hums. You hold it up to your ear, and it's kind of got like a low hum to it. And with it is an amulet on a chain that's the exact same design. So it's the same circular symbol, same material, and these two items are together. And in another chest, you find a cloak. And the cloak, it's very strange. It's almost like it's like a flexible metal, but it's soft, like fabric. But you're pretty sure it's metal. You can tell like it's got that texture to it that seems more metallic than fabric. And there's a nice gold filigree all around the edges of it, and prominently displayed right on the sort of the right breast is a symbol that you recognize as the chaos wheel. It's common symbolism for, well, chaos. There's emblems that are connected more to specific deities and specific ideals and stuff, but this is basically like just the main symbol for chaos, like the generic, like an arrow for one way. This is like the chaos wheel.
Huh. All right, so we got this asbestos cloak and then the necklace and wheel thing. All right. You would really want to look at this crap. Yeah, fellas, let's just get all this stuff, haul it out of the house. The other guys were going to be out back. Sure that they have found something wildly interesting out there. It's boring the snot out of Torque. So let's go rescue Torque.
Thank you.
All right. So y'all meet up, share your findings. Fleck, on the list of teleport locations, I'm assuming that Dinar is.
Yeah, I'll
showing
let
them all.
everybody know what we found.
There's a location that stands out to you immediately. Garamondus. Home. Lord Garamond was your owner.
Huh.
Garamondus is his home estate in Carafal.
Fancy that.
You now have an idea of how the goblins got here.
Mm.
Well, it's something that we can potentially do about it.
There seems to be a connection.
Oh, that's not a good connection, though. Obviously, it's
Fingers
not.
to
Shut up,
concoct a
Mike.
little present to send back to him, right? That's really easy.
I mean, we could convince the experiment to go back through.
Yeah, did we get the sense that maybe the experiment came this way and used the circle?
From what Killian had described, so they were in the kitchens. They were kind of up here, the upper corner of the house, and it went more sort of like roughly like northwestish. It just kind of
Off into the woods.
yeah.
All right.
So Flick, you show the items to Dinar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check this crap out.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff, including a bag of holding and some potions and things.
And this
Ooh.
But then
little
there's
spinny
a
circle.
I bet you that could hold a lot of booze.
Or it solves our platinum problem too.
Now there is that.
so the two.
Maybe
sort of
we
main-
should put something less valuable in there first, just to make sure it works properly.
Oh,
Something about the idea of putting all of our money in a
that
bottomless bag seems.
those stories about the bag man are just to scare children.
Nice. So the two main sort of unidentified items are the metal disc and amulet set, and then the cloak with the chaos symbol on it.
I mean, these guys are looking kind of beat up. Me and Taylor are feeling great, but
Yeah, that's true. I mean, great's a word.
You get an app.
At this point, I'm absolutely tapped. If we were to get into another fight, I'd be almost useless for you guys.
yeah, as long as we're like out of the
Not saying
explosion
something.
radius, that's kind of my big concern at this point.
Yeah, the smoke's still coming up. Fire's still burned down there, but
We could probably make ourselves a little camp just outside of the compound here, far enough away that we can rest and not worry about inhaling that crap. Flick and I can take a look at these things, figure out what they are.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So you're getting everybody together and you're kind of just heading away from.
Well, we should probably go find Owen, right? He's still hanging out on the beach somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so he's to the west. So yeah, if you want to go back and meet where you kind of left him in the other ruined houses.
That was a relatively secure location. We can go back there, do a proper rest there.
I totally forgot about Owen. I missed too many sessions. I'm sorry, guys. There's things I just don't remember.
Well, I mean, we did, to be fair, we did get a little bit sidetracked.
Yeah. How many episodes was Owen? 67? Or was 66 when we picked him up?
I mean, Runix is skulking around here somewhere too, presumably.
Maybe you can have a nice
That's a good
little run-in
point.
with our buddy X there. That'd be okay. Formerly known as Twitter, but that's fine. It's totally fine. That joke will date well, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. It'll age like a fine milk.
Oh, nasty. Well, that sounds like a good plan. So, as you head back to meet up with Owen, we will take a break.
All right.
We're at 9:30, and then
Sounds good.
we will resume as you meet up with Owen and your newfound companions and go over your items and the plan moving forward. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
After these messages.
After the...
We are back. Mike keeps trying to throw me off, but
Mike can count really well. It's okay.
I mean, okay, let's not credit where it's, he's usually better at the countdowns. This is just a bad day for countdowns.
yeah. I can count the potato, so
I mean, look,
better than all y'all.
you can
We
say
really appreciate everything you do for us, Mike.
you can say that Mike can't count all you want.
Right?
kind of waiting for a follow-up.
That's just
here.
it. There's no follow-up. That's just it. All right. You make your way back to the ruined husk of the building that you left Owen. You find him curled up. Seems like he's found some dry branches and kind of made himself a little bit of a lean-to in the corner, just kind of curled up a little bit. And as you get closer, he kind of startles up and
It's like a hold his hand out and dagger will appear in his hand. Like, on guard, eh?
Yeah.
Nice work, kid.
Sorry, don't have much energy these days. Weary.
Yeah.
Who's all that?
Well, that's
Like
that's Dookie Leanne, and then the goblins. G team are here, so
All right. I saw the smoke.
That was me.
All right.
It's a filthy
That was a
habit,
team
but we
effort,
can't
really.
we can't get him to quit.
Did you find anything useful? Did you find scrolls or spells?
well, they had all sorts of good
items,
crap.
Something
Great.
you can use.
In fact, we have more of their crap to decipher.
Interesting. Well, it's going to take you a bit of time to do that, and I might catch another hour or so. I think I'm feeling a little bit sleepy still.
All right, man. We're here to watch you back again, so
Sure.
take it easy.
Let me know when we're ready to go. Wait, you did find, so we can teleport, right? We can go to Valenhold.
Yep. Absolutely. Still the number one plan.
That's fantastic. All right. Yeah. So let me just catch a few more moments of sleep here. And he just kind of puts it back down and like sleep instantly. So you guys taking a short rest? That's the plan.
I mean,
Or
yeah.
like a
not a
full.
bad idea.
I was gonna say slash up for a long rest at this point.
Yeah, could do a long rest.
I'm up
actually.
for either or, really.
What time of day is it?
That's getting towards evening.
We've been gone for 45
Yeah.
minutes. So
Thus, the adventuring day is complete.
yes.
Definitely moving into evening at this point. Yeah.
I'm all for a long rest.
Late evening probably. So yeah, you're probably getting close to nappy time.
Ours probably the most tapped of us all. So.
Okay.
Yep.
I think there's enough of you, enough people around that I'm not going to worry too much about watches. Enough to kind of
we
share.
have a
share
small
the
army
load.
of goblins. I feel like we're good.
Yeah, you can share the load a little bit here, so that's fine. So if you want to spend some time, if you want to spend some time identifying the items, then we can do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Might as well start with that.
I think that's a light activity.
Want to start with the Metal disc or the cloak?
Now I'm wondering, does that metal disc look anything like the friggin' tablet and talisman stuff that we got earlier? With
It does not. No, it's
All right,
not
so
the
not-
same.
not Void Gate related. Then.
No,
All right.
it doesn't appear to be.
All right. Let's see if we can crack this nut.
Yep. We'll start
You
with the
do
disc.
also have a couple of books to look at as well. The ones that Flick had found. So
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
so those are. Oh, you're right. But so what's first?
Let's start with the metal disc.
The disc.
I
Okay.
will admit I'm curious.
The disc. After some investigation, identifying, it's an item that you've never seen before. It seems to have been created with a lot of enchantment and energy that has gone into this item. And it is called Pravida's Levitating Dais.
Bet you I can kind of figure out what that does.
This is original art by Dean Spencer, customized at my request
Oh, that's what that's one
to
for.
make it
okay.
look like it is now. So, Dean,
Very cool.
thank you, man. Wonderful, wonderful work.
Shout out. I don't
So
know why
essentially-
I didn't mean for that to sound sarcastic. This is actually genuinely really cool art. Dean Spencer is very talented. I don't know
Dean's
what happened
amazing.
with my cadence there.
No, he does a lot of amazing stuff. So
This is kind of like
very happy with this.
Static Shock's little disc thingy.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So
like
It's a hoverboard.
It's like Tensor's floating
Silver
disc in
Surfer.
physical form.
Yeah.
With a little bit of extra stuff to it. So the amulet connects to it, and that's essentially what you use to command the disc. So in its portable form, it fits in your palm of your hand, but it can actually enlarge into a platform that's 5 feet in diameter, 6 inches thick, that can hover above the ground between 1 and 10 feet. And can be used to move around. So it can be transportation. It can be used to move things. And you realize it's got some other features as well. One of the interesting ones is the ability to have it locked in place, where you can essentially command it to just stay there, sort of like a movable rod. Like it moves and it cannot be moved, or it stays put and it cannot be moved. However, there's an excess of 2,000 pounds of either weight on it or force applied to it. Then it will shrink. But otherwise, you can have it just stay put and it can't be moved. So, very fascinating. You see in its workings, so the symbol on the bottom is a transmutation rune. And there's actually a signature and inscription from Pravida, who seems to have been a mage from the Ivory Spire. It was an Ivory Spire experiment. So you guys can fight
I
on
mean,
that.
I was gonna say that's pretty good and useful for anyone who isn't Torque.
And does it require?
I could just carry things.
It doesn't
It's not-
require.
It doesn't. It
attunement.
doesn't
Huge
require
loss.
attunement. No, but you just have to have the amulet to control it. So it's
Right.
it's more of a utility item.
And
I was gonna say I can see that incredibly useful for Dinar to keep himself away from melee weapons.
Yeah,
Just
just
go.
hover 10 feet off the ground. Out of
Yeah, I
reach
mean,
You
of
can't
us.
reach me. You can't reach me.
It's certainly not perfect, but it stops a lot of like little things.
Mhm.
And then it's also useful for me for the same reason. But I'm a little more hardier than Dinar
So-
is.
Really, I mean, you guys can trade use of it. It's not.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
And whoever has the amulet controls it. So
We just park it somewhere and then we can all use it.
Very good.
How many goblins can fit on this thing at once?
How much does a goblin weigh?
About 15
Well, that's a lot of goblins.
based on area.
So can we?
Yeah, you can fit quite a few goblins on there.
2,000 divided by
Can-
15 is a
Well, 2,000
133.
2,000 is only when it's in its stasis mode.
Right.
Regularly, it can hold up to 800 pounds, which is still a lot.
That's still a lot of goblins.
Mhm.
The Goblin Mobile.
That's 53 and a third goblins.
So that's the third is fingers. All right, that's the disc.
Yep. Let's we'll move on to the
that-
cloak.
I just want to point out, by the way, that note at the bottom, that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
Not affected by heat metal
Or
or
telekinesis.
telekinesis or
magnetic
magnetism.
spells.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
that's why it's very rare.
It's very
Part of
good.
why it's very rare because it's you can't be it's hard for anybody else to manipulate it. It's very resistant to being moved by others, which because otherwise it wouldn't be very useful. It'd be like, I'm on my platform. Yeah, well, your platforms are over there now. Whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty fantastic.
All right.
So
Moving
we'll
on to
do the cloak next.
the cloak.
Yeah.
Okay. So the cloak comes with a hood and a cape as well, and it is very lightweight material. Like I mentioned, it kind of feels almost like metal, but it's still got that flexibility and breathableness to it. There's golden filigree etching it, and there's that chaos circle on. There's also an inscription on the inside that says "Salutis Chaosi."
Oh. Okay.
And
That was on the teleport circle thing too, wasn't it?
it was. This is the Salutis Chaosi cloak.
I'm guessing that was the mages then. That was like their cabal name or something.
So essentially, what it's translate to is Chaos Unbound. Seems to be the name of this cult of wizards, this organization. So this cloak can
Well,
do
I already know who's getting this.
quite a bit. Increases your intelligence. This one does require attunement. It increases your intelligence score by 1 to maximum of 19. It's typical if it's already 19, can't go any higher than that. Basically grants you the benefit of mage armor spell while you're not wearing any other armor. It gives you proficiency in Arcana. If you're already proficient in Arcana, you can gain advantage on Arcana checks only while wearing the cloak. And also, so these are all only while wearing the cloak. And it gives you a handful of cantrips. So the contingency is that you don't need to be a caster in order to attune this. So a non-caster can actually gain these cantrips to use with the basically their intelligence becomes their casting ability for it, and it has the stipulations there for attacks and spell save DCs. The key feature of this cloak seems to be its recall, which is housed in the chaos symbol on the breast. This cloak can be used to instantly teleport the wearer and up to 5 wielding creatures to a specified location, a pre-designated location. So basically you can bamf out as needed. It's a good getaway cloak.
As much as I would say that probably should be our ship, it's kind of interesting to have it be where we just came from and then have access to that teleportation circle like always. But presumably you do have access to that circle as soon as you learn the teleportation spell. Presumably.
If you learn teleportation spell, then it's then it's yes, circles that you're familiar with. So I'm going to just
this goes to Dinar. I mean,
so Dinar, as you are figuring all this out and you're reading the magic off of it essentially, the recall symbol currently has a designation.
Oh snap!
Oh,
You don't know where it is.
Pickens. It takes us back into the
So,
burning tower.
You're unable to determine what the location is because you did not set it. But there is a destination that is currently set. This cloak has a destination set. You can override that, override it basically. So in order to set a destination, you just need to spend 10 minutes, basically of a ritual designating where you want it to recall to. Has to be somewhere you're familiar with. Obviously, if it's somewhere you've actually been, then it's guaranteed to work. If it's something that you're less familiar with, but have a good description of, it's a pretty good chance it could work. But there's potential it could go wrong depending on how poorly you describe and inscribe the location.
Similar to like teleport mishaps, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Same idea. So you're able to determine that there is a location currently stored, more or less, within this insignia. But
the
where
only
that
way
is,
to determine would be to actually use it.
or
Would be to double tap my little insignia
find out
there.
some other way. But yeah.
Well, that's very interesting.
It would seem kind of like a waste to not try to figure out where it is and just replace it with something new.
Yeah, I'm not setting a new recall on that anytime soon.
I think we can agree that this just makes sense for Dinar, right? Like Flick could get use out of it, but I really feel like this is a Dinar item. I mean, it would also be hilarious to give it to Torque.
Or could use it.
I mean,
it has to be a caster to attune to it.
I would love.
I feel like on Torque it would be less of a cloak and more of like a
loincloth.
like one of those little like matador half capes.
Yeah.
Just sort of hanging off one arm, one shoulder.
I'll just say
I mean,
that
it would give you a green flame blade. There is that.
I would
That's
be more
not
interested to
useful.
hear Flick,
Well, it's
not Flick, sorry, Torque go for some vicious mockery. What kind of insults
It would bring
he
my
hurl?
it would bring my intelligence score up to a nice robust 13.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Dinar gets the most out of this with the intelligence increase. The mage armor,
it's a no-brainer.
The free mage armor, the advantage on Arcana, and then a couple extra cantrips, right? Like this, I feel like it makes sense. Although I do find it great that like Torque could wear this.
So Dinar, you'd have to give somebody else your dragon's kill robe then.
Well, yeah. So that I would lose that.
That one's not attuned, but it takes up the same spot.
It would be, yeah. I can't wear robe on top of robe.
One or the other, yeah.
Cloak on top of cloak.
I mean, you can.
I would not benefit from the intelligence score increase because I'm already at 19. But everything else would be handy.
Look, what's your intelligence score? Is it an odd number?
Well, that's the other question that I had is this something that would be interesting to Flick?
Well, with the headband of intellect that I found last time, my intelligence is set to 19.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
So you and I are both good on intelligence.
I think, yeah. I think Dinar is the play.
Okay. Once we're done identifying, then Dinar will take some time, I suppose, to attune to this. I'll say that I and Dinar are open to it going to somebody else if there's somebody interested. I don't feel that it needs to go to me. I think it's cool, and I would love to use it, but I don't want to. Yeah.
I mean, I theoretically could also use it, but it's just like I don't know if it's really in the best.
I'm sure I could also make use of that. I'm just kidding.
Not you, Owen.
No.
Oh, that was Killian.
Dookie.
I'm busy over here. I can't tell who's talking over my shoulder.
We all just sound so alike.
One sounds significantly more chipper than the other, who sounds weary and almost dead.
That's fair.
Sounds pretty morose still.
Um,
Is Owen like looking like he is unwell, or is he just like a bummer to hang around?
Give me a medicine check.
Oh, fair question.
Medicine. I'm great at these. Look at that, 17.
17.
Upgraded.
So as he sort of mentioned before, like physically, he's very physically frail. Looks like he's probably malnourished. And he's been living in a swamp for the last little bit as well.
Swamp life's the best life.
So he's I think it's just there's a physical weariness and general just he needs some good food, some good
A
rest,
weekend
like
at the Hilton, that'll be good as
some
good value.
some recovery. So he's just very weak and tired and weary, and yeah, he's frail
Into
boy.
spa weekend, gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the only other two items unidentified or not really looked at, you have the two books. So there's the Ataxian spell book, and then there's the other book that Flick grabbed before he set the room on fire.
Mhm.
Let's start with the Ataxian spellbook.
Okay.
Campfire ready.
So Dinar, give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
If you want to attune to the robe first and do this afterwards,
With
then you can
advantage.
go ahead and have advantage on it.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. So yeah, why don't I do that?
Okay.
So my attunement's now. Oh, does that fill me up? No, I'm replacing the cloak of protection with that, so my attunement stays at 2. So I will attune to the new cloak and take off the old one.
Classic wizard. He's got like cloak of protection, dragon scale robe, this cloak. He's just like, let me put on my other cloak today.
For now, I will store
Closet with-
the cloak of protection in the bag of holding that we've picked up.
Dinar is an outfit repeater no more.
He has a cloak for every occasion.
Yeah.
All right, so you can go ahead and give me an Arcana with advantage. Then.
With advantage. Okay, so this is +8 on. Oh wow! Rolled a 1 and a 14. So 14 plus 8 is 22.
So you're able to essentially decode the book. You realize that it's not. The language is not necessarily written in a different language. You can understand Abyssal now as well, thanks to your the other item that you have.
Interesting.
Yes, my Axiom
Stone
Stone of Far Speech. Yep.
And while you still don't quite understand the casting behind chaos magic, you are able to identify what spells are contained within this book. So I'll go ahead and update that item for you.
Okay.
You should see a list of chaos spells attached to it now. So the spells it contains within are Time Ravage, Unmake, Reality Shift, Void Gate, Void Step, and Time Spike.
Those all sound like a big deal.
Yep.
I like all of that.
Now, in order to cast these spells, it does require one to draw on the Ataxian Weave.
Could possibly go wrong.
And looking through some of the notes in this book, you understand that the reason why it's so dangerous is, one, there's the unpredictability of it. You're drawing from chaos magic. The chances of a spell going wrong or side effects or something else happening, spell misfires, things like that, there is increased tenfold. You're dealing with instability and trying to harness that into casting. There's also a danger to the caster that as you are drawing on essentially the opposite of order, right? Like the Orduan weave is what creates reality. It's what holds all things together. And so when you're casting magic from that, you're just taking what already exists and you're using that power, using that energy, and it's just going back into itself. when you're drawing from the Ataxian, you are essentially opening yourself up to another weave, opening yourself up to chaos, which can have very detrimental effects. It can actually, there's warnings here about how it can change you. It can actually alter you potentially. Some of the more dangerous spells can kill if you're not prepared to cast them properly. And so there's definitely a significant degree of danger. So the spells that you see, they have some very interesting effects. Essentially, they all use time and reality and shift it in ways that normally wouldn't really be able to do with the Orduan weave, but because you're basically harnessing and channeling pure chaos, it can do some interesting things.
So, understanding the book, would I be able to, is this now usable for me? Obviously at risk, but
it would take you. You understand that it's going to take you a little bit of time. You have to spend some time with the book. You have to spend some time dedicated to, reading the book during, long rests or travel time or downtime, whatever. That for every 24 hours, doesn't have to be straight, but for every 24 hours you spend reading the book, you will be able to basically unlock a spell from it and be able to attempt to cast it.
Oh wow, okay. Okay, so a lot of time.
It's very different than typically what you're used to as a wizard, the experimentation of spells. A lot of the spells, other than the more dangerous ones, it's just getting the pronunciation right, getting the timing of it right, getting the the somatic components, just perfecting it. There's not too much of a danger in a lot of it, but here it's the actual just performing of the spell. If it's not dead on, there's danger, and even then there is danger when you do it right. So there's risk.
Okay.
Who would have thought that a spell called Time Spike might not be the most safe or viable option?
Okay.
Word to the wise. Now that you understand what that book is, I understand that's the bad magic, right?
Oh yeah,
It's a bad idea to start dipping into this crap.
This would be very bad magic to get involved in, yes.
Got a lovely campfire right here. Let's just deal with it and remove the temptation.
All magic is like that, but
yeah, I'd love to get that sucked out of me too, but it's a little trickier.
I'm not sure I want to burn it right now.
That's what I was afraid of.
Isildur! Cast it into the fire! No.
Here's the
All
thing.
right, I reserve the right to say "told you so."
Here's the thing.
I mean,
There's
doesn't seem to be compelling you to use it, does it?
no. But
No. You don't. There's nothing you don't feel anything read me, cast me. It's the spell book itself is harmless in existing, but casting the magic comes with a whole whack of unknowns. Yeah.
Yes, when you grow rabbit ears and lose all your extremities, I will definitely say I told you so.
I understand your concern, and I'm not taking this lightly. But there is a spell in here that would allow us to open a void gate. If our final destination is to fight Triskades, this might be the thing that gets us to him, if he's not on this plane.
That would let us take the fight to him.
It would
And
be
the campfire, right?
dangerous. It would be and then the campfire, yes. It would be dangerous. That is the only thing from this list that I think could potentially be worth the risk of casting once. But we'll see.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that.
Please do.
I guess the only book left is the one that Flick found in that experiment room.
Sure.
Laboratory.
Yeah, the lab.
Flick, did you want to take it that, or do you want Dinar to?
No, I don't want to know.
Okay.
I'm afraid of what's going to be in there.
So Dinar, you open it up. There's a very basic like illusion spell on it that seems to be kind of masking, almost like to make it seem like it's something it's not. And you're able to just get right past that. It almost put there as an afterthought, not any real like deterrent, more just to kind of hide the contents from a quick passing glance. The name on the inside identifies that this journal, this experiment log, belongs to an individual named Dasyra, Dasyra, Dasyra. And there are some pages that are encoded, have strange sketches and numbers, calculations, things like that don't really make any sense to you. There are a fair number of pages that contain some rather gruesome details of some of the experiments, and just too much to even nope. It's unnecessary really to know. But there are ones that catch your eye, ones that have specific dates on them, and are labeled as experiment notes. And you find specifically in these notes the designation experiment X03. The first entry, dated the 13th of Fairflow, reads, "Where our previous efforts have failed, it appears this one will be promising. The subject does seem to retain some memories, although there are random gaps, but his personality is gone. The creature is now mutable to our whims, eager even to receive implanted directives. Camdis was right about the reality shift spell and its potential." Next entry, 28th of Fairflow. "An unusual moment of aggression occurred today when we brought a new subject down, a drudgy little wretch named Twig or Stick or some nonsense. X03 displayed familiarity and even inquired after her health, but with a strange, dispassionate sense of interest, almost as if asking out of some memory of what he used to do rather than actually caring. Needless to say, our experiments with Twig failed, and she joined the zombie work crew. When X saw her again, he physically lashed out and actually broke a handful of stasis crystals. He said nothing, showed no emotion, but that was definitely an aggressive response brought on by anger, sadness, hard to say. Might be worth exploring." 3rd of Emberwind. "You've successfully purged all emotive responses from X03. He's ours now, and any traces of the goblin named Bling are gone. Well, again, there do seem to be some lingering memories, but X sees them more as somebody else than his own, I think. On another note, the final fusion of the refined Axiom shell has been successfully molded to his body. He's now more Axiom than flesh, more automaton than goblin. He no longer feels pain, no longer is limited by emotion, and follows any directive we give him. I'll need to request that Lord Garamond send us more from this one's brood, as they seem to be of hardy stock, able to survive well beyond the experiments that kill most of these wretched goblins." Final entry, 29th of First Harvest. X03 is incredible. His telekinetics are off the charts, his telepathic communication flawless, and no sign at all of any rejection or instability where the Axiom is concerned. An army of X03s would make the Salutis Chaosi unstoppable, and we could finally ready this world for Triskades. Ante faciam annihiliato. And the last entry is a description of experiment X03 in detail, outlining its abilities and statistics. I'll show both of those to everyone. You have Desir's experiment logs and the stat block for experiment X03.
Oh, that's very forthcoming.
That's this is a very detailed account, by gum.
Entry number 45. The experiment seems to have an AC of at least 18 with 100 hit points.
Through extensive testing, I have managed to find a way to convert its armor, its ability to avoid damage to a number. The mathematical equation is quite simple, but I believe it is a 21. Now you might ask, what is the maximum that I make it out of that? And to which I say, screw you.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm happy to have it.
This is, well, But why would we need it, Jack? That fight's over.
He's left.
Well,
He's gone.
I mean,
never to be seen
you
again.
know, we did kind of give him the Michael Myers treatment. I didn't see a body.
So Dinar, as you read through the entry,
Like that phase movement, that's interesting.
it gives you an idea. There's more notes and stuff from Desira. There are definitely indications that X03 is the latest in a long series of experiments, and not all goblin. You read, they've worked with all sorts of different sentient and non-sentient.
I mean, assuming that the first experiment was called A01.
Yeah.
But X03 seems to be their success, the first one that actually has proven to be something useful, and in her words.
So would we all be privy to what's in the book then at this point, or
That's up to Dinar.
Yeah, since Flick was
Yeah.
not interested in hearing, I think Dinar was reading it to himself because he didn't want to have Flick over here. Once finished,
You would have at least recognized the name Blaine.
yeah, that's
Well,
what
that's
I was
a-
curious about.
so that's what I was gonna say
Bling
is-
would have rung any bells.
Flick,
Flick
do you-
has talked about Blank before, so you would have heard that. You would have known that name.
Flick, what do you know about Bling?
Oh, well, see. Why asking about Bling? Bling was this little shit runt. So look, my uncle Scab, his sister Edema had a kid named Bling. Edema was like collaborating with the overseers, and Bling basically knew that he was untouchable and was a real piece of shit accordingly. That's the short story.
Okay, well then maybe it won't hurt you so much to know that experiment X03 is Bling.
Huh.
There's also a mention of a twig or stick. The journaler was not sure exactly.
Well, that was the other one that was there. That was
one of the zombies, right?
one that I recognized. I was like, yeah, I knew of them, but yeah.
Yeah, you-
Bling kind of had it coming. So
You recognize the name Twig, but it's like
they were at the camp, but not in my work crew.
Okay. They're mentioned by name as well. More as a failed experiment. Turned into a zombie goblin, so...
Yeah.
It looks like goblins are not the only thing they were experimenting on, so...
Interesting.
But,
That's not necessarily better.
no. But these goblins were supplied by Lord Garamond. They name him specifically as their supplier.
I mean, yeah. That's the guy, right? You're
Yeah.
gonna be dealing goblins, that's the guy.
Well, we do have an idea of how to get onto his location without him being aware of it. Once
I'd love to
Dinar
just...
gets a useful spell.
I mean, if we can just funnel some Triscuits straight into his backyard, that'd be great. But
I feel like using Ataxian magic against him is
more my point
Ill
being,
advised.
we got bigger fish to fry than my old grudges. Like,
be that as
aren't
it
we,
may.
aren't we saving
Well,
the world
look.
here? Like, just remind me.
But Flick, what's the point of saving a world that ain't worth saving? We gotta put a little good into the world, you know.
Tidy up the messes later. Let's deal with the threat.
I think Flick is right. As much as it might hurt, we got to deal with the biggest thing first, and then we can clean up the smaller messes afterwards.
I don't know. I feel like he's working with guys who are trying to improve Triskades' influence.
That is true. These wizards are trying to, or they are working for Triskades.
It's
Or
we may have
Word,
only just
yeah.
stumbled upon one location.
I mean, do we have a good head
we-
count on this particular little cabal?
So, including the one that you shanked
Yeah.
before the adventure began, there's at least 5
Must include that one.
from this area, 5 that are dead. But you don't the name Desira you didn't see amongst the ones who had been present during the time. So there's
At least one that got away.
more than who's there.
So it does behoove us to at least consider the fact that this cabal is helping Triskades, and they are being supplied by this monster, and so destroying this degenerate's operations would deal a blow, however small, to Triskades. And we get to deliver some rightful justice to a proper bastard.
He actually knows his father, but anyway.
Figurative bastard.
Right proper jerk. Which seems a little underwhelming, but you know.
I mean, I'm not going to argue too
Jerk.
strenuously against it. I'm just my heart tells me that I want him to be a small fry, not a big deal.
That's fair.
But if he has made a place for himself at Triscuit's table, then I'm gonna be dancing on that table and kicking some plates. Let's
That's what I'm saying.
So what's the plan of attack here? We were originally headed to somewhere not here and doing other stuff.
Well, we're bringing Owen back to Endhold.
Right.
We could at least
we were
finish
going
that.
to kill him and then unkill him in a way that honors our contract while also not all the way killing him, was my general understanding of the procedure.
Right. And that was something being done in Valenhold. That sounded
So
right.
he needs his friend Diane, who's a priestess in the Wavesong Temple. She's the one who has essentially modified the reincarnation ritual to work in such a way that would bring him back not only as physically different, but basically his spiritual thumbprint is going to be different, even though he'll still be himself in memory. He'll have all his memories and retain his self.
Funny
So
though,
he-
even in
he
that
needs
out of
to-
game discussion, I saw Talen's little vein twitching, bulging in his forehead when he mentioned the Wave Song Temple. It's weird.
Yeah.
Right. So
you know,
Can't imagine why.
Talon definitely doesn't want to go there, but at the same time, he does definitely want to free the goblins, like 100%. So it's not so much of a delay of where he doesn't want to go, more as a, oh gee, do I want to go do this thing I don't want to do, or do I want to do this thing I do want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Just for clarification, Fleck, where is Lord Garamond?
Well, he's off in, you would call it Careful. Which is way the hell, geography rooting here right now. Where the hell is
Well-
Careful, relatively speaking?
Let's do this. Bring you to the map.
Big map.
So you guys are here. Continent of Valeria. And Garamundus. Can you guess who it's named after?
Ah, well, yes.
In Carafol, which is also Heck. So the goblin native term for it is Heck. They've reclaimed a small little portion of it on the bottom here, which is Heck. And then the slave lords have called it Carafol. So it's way over.
Which,
Basically-
fun fact, Careful
basically
is
at the
actually
edge of the Isles.
The goblin word for village. So, they just,
Oh, it's one of those situations.
yeah. It's a heritage moment, goblin style.
So,
My favorite version of that is in Discworld when there's like a mountain and the name for the mountain translates to "That's your finger, you fool," because the explorers pointed and we're like, "What is this?"
Oh, it's classic. Good heritage moment there, yeah.
so we could go there. We picked up some very useful scrolls, but that would use them both. That would be the only way for us to get there and back without our ship.
Yeah, that it would be a hell of a sail, wouldn't it?
That would be probably a couple weeks. Yeah.
That would be more like a couple months.
yeah, I guess it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Unless we had a teleportation circle.
Which we can't
Mhm.
use yet.
Yeah.
So, well, yes,
Well,
but
I will not pretend to be knowledgeable in the
Could we buy a
arcane
scroll of
matters, but
teleportation?
is it possible that learning how to use the circle would take less time than simply sailing to Carafal?
possibly.
Like,
We have
for
Is there a
all
way
we
we
know,
is there a way you could obtain the knowledge of how to utilize all of this stuff in Careful to get us back?
I'm thinking
maybe.
even easier. Like, do you think maybe Kamari knows that one?
Hmm?
She
That's a good
might.
point.
She might.
It is connected to the Ivory Spire, which,
We've got a gaggle of friendly wizards just waiting to help. So,
if she wasn't aware of this circle, that would be alarming for different reasons.
So we could get her to scry
I
on
mean-
me to see the circle that is currently here.
It
She
could
could
be that we now
teleport
know
here.
how the Ivory Tower got overwhelmed so fast.
I think this is a pretty
I
good
mean, we
bet,
know these
yeah.
guys are ex Ivory Spire. They defected a while back, so
Yeah, but the attack would have been a coordinated effort, surely. And
Sure.
this cabal was likely involved, or at the very least, if there's one teleportation circle that goes there, there could be more. We don't know how big this cabal is. Like I said, they could be scattered all over the place, and for all we know, freaking, I'm not going to dignify him with his name. Demon guy, I don't know, is handing goblins over hand and foot to multiple locations through perhaps even the same teleportation.
Garamond? Or who?
Yeah, well, yes, but I'm not going to
Demon
dignify
guy.
him with his name.
Mm,
Oh, I see. Okay.
I see.
Gary. It's fine.
In game. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yeah.
They tried to get Uncle Gary to stick, and it really didn't. He was not the friendly overseer.
So I just pinned some of the key locations we're talking about here. So where you guys are, Enhold, which is right next to you, Valenhold, which is where Waves on Temple is, Yarmundus, which is way over in Careful, aka Heck, Ivory Spire, which has come up yet again. So feel free to add notes in there as you want as well.
I mean, I feel like this is something that is worth our time and effort, but that's just me.
Well, we got a few irons in the fire right now. Let's see if we can sort of prioritize our list a little bit here. So I figure my buddy Izar back in Enhold can take care of the G team here. He has experience in springing goblins and dealing with them. Truly. Another easy one to take care of. Dookie Leanne seems to be content to sail their own way away. Although, if you want to conscript him into running your castle instead of trying to reclaim his own,
I
then,
think it's worth a discussion at least. Is all I'm saying.
right, that's another, tick that box. Then we got Owen, who wants to go to that friggin' place,
Valenhold.
Valenhold, which plays into the whole getting more teleport goodies available to us, which leads us to bartering with the ex-Ivory Spire guys to see if anyone can teach D the teleportation circle thing.
Or just allow us to use it.
I mean, better that they,
Better
it's
that they
the whole,
teach, yes.
Teach a man to eat garbage versus, just eat garbage. It's a.
The fish is rare.
Mm.
Garbage fish.
It's going to take us a while to get back to Enhold. If we are able to get any ex-Ivory Spire, it's going to take them some time to get to us to teach me something like that. Why don't we start with Owen? I'll communicate with Kamari. And then, once we're back in Enhold, we can make a decision on where we go next.
All right, sounds fair.
Maybe we
Thanks.
go after Gary. Maybe we save Gary for another day.
Fair enough, Captain.
I will defer to you then, Captain.
Okay.
You may want to hide the sigil on that new robe, by the way, just in case.
Could raise a few eyebrows, yes.
I mean, it
I
could
wonder
be
if
good
we
or
could
bad
sew
for
up.
us.
Does anyone here know how to sew? Perhaps we could sew a patch over it.
Listen, no, I think it's at least worth considering the fact that that is a great disguise, if nothing else. It's just that, when we're not trying to use it as a disguise, maybe don't advertise. I don't know. Do we know if this cabal are the type of people who just wear their sigil out in the open, or are they like a secret underground cabal?
Flick.
I don't think we know.
Go ahead and give me a history check with advantage. A moment of memory recall.
History with advantage. All right, here we go.
Going back to your alley encounter. with one Aldrich Benison.
That's a 15.
15. There's a vague recollection of it wasn't a cloak like this, but Aldrich Benison. He didn't have it as a patch, but he had it as a tattoo on his wrist.
Not fully, not wearing full on t-shirt bearing it, but not hiding it either.
Because if these are more ceremonial robes, it would be weird for him to be wearing them around. So maybe we find a way to kind of jazz it up a little bit.
You also, all of you recall, those of you who saw the notice boards in Enhold, that there was a very strange half note, torn note with this very symbol, and written ominously underneath it, "He comes."
Yeah, that's right.
That could be worth keeping in mind.
So it's not hidden. It seems to be, some people are trying to get this out there, to use it, to make it more prominent, to intentionally make it seen, while others seem to be hiding it, up a sleeve, tattoo, that sort of thing. But it's definitely connected to multiple things.
Here's the other thing: if I wear this and it draws attention, it'll kind of point to the people that we want to maybe remove from the playboard.
Hard to say. I think having the ability to swap it back and forth is going to be useful. I mean, we can ask Kamari about it.
We could.
Right now, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Just thinking ahead.
I guess we'll long rest now.
Yeah, generally speaking, you don't want to wear the sigil of your enemy in front of your allies.
There, yeah.
Could
Guys,
send
check-
some
Check out the new
mixed
patch I
signals.
got, guys. Check out the patch. Isn't it great? It's awesome. I know our colors are red, but this is blue, and I like blue.
It's that. Are we the baddies?
Yeah.
Why skulls though? I mean, they've all got eagles and whatever. It's like, well, maybe it's the skulls of our enemy. Our enemies are terrible. It's like, oh well, I'm not sure it reads that well. Yes, I know it's a skull, and yes, we did kill him, but trust us, he was horrible.
Yeah. All right. So, what are we doing?
Well, we're long resting.
Yeah, we'll do the long rest, and then I think. But what's the plan in the morning? I think is the real.
Hike to Enhold.
Yeah, just
think
finish
that's
the way
what-
to Enhold. And
Yeah.
Hike to Enhold. Dump the G team with Izar, and then.
Yeah, that seems like a priority.
I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess until we get rid of these goblins, we shouldn't be doing any lofty changing of locales.
Okay. So you begin the trek in the morning.
And we'll
Back
be
to
keeping
Enhold.
a good eye on Grimes to make sure he's not going to be twitching out on us too much.
Okay. He's stable enough. Like he does kind of like it's like a tick in some ways. Like it kind of comes and goes, and but he seems to be with you enough, stable enough. So from your current location, at regular travel speed, it would be about a day and a half to Enhold. If you wanted to go slower for goblins' sake, it would probably be closer to just over 2 days. How do you want to take this?
Well, Izar said he had like a safe house or something just outside of town. Was that
Just south of town, yeah. You said just kind of like
that's where
by
we're
the
gonna
rivers.
head
So.
for sure.
Okay, so probably about a day and a half right to there then, if
like if you're going slow.
Whatever best speed we can get to there.
Sure. Okay. All right. Okay. As you gather your party, sorry. Go. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Good plan.
As you gather your party, and with 4 goblins, a disheveled priest, and a missing for 500 years prince or duke in tow, quite the ensemble, and make your way back.
It kind of sounds like your
Anhold.
average D&D party to me.
It's really true. Yeah, it's pretty average. I mean, yeah,
it's not 4 goblins in a trench coat, but you know,
it's right. Yeah,
we'll get there.
For 4 goblins on a floating disc in a cloak.
Yeah, we're almost at anime qualifications there, but not quite. You need like a talking fish or something. Anyway, you make your way towards Anhold, and as you go up the coast and start to kind of move towards the town on the second day, you do see that there's a quaint little cottage. It's got sort of a hedge around it, like not a fence, but just a low hedge. You can actually see smoke rising from the chimney. Very well built, very, just a small little sturdy looking place. And as you approach, Flick, you can see Izar actually kind of step out, and he kind of looks and sees you all coming. And you see him just kind of, from a distance before you can even get close, you see there's a chuckle of mirth as he just kind of like, and he's just like, he kind of does this like clapping as you come. And as he gets closer, he's like, you know that job that I had in mind for you.
If we just do your job.
You found them. This is what I was talking about. The liberation. I said there was some individuals that needed freeing. How? Come inside.
We're good. We're absolutely fantastic.
This is
The eyes are fingers / Grimes scalp.
Pleasure, friends. See some other friends here as well, but we'll talk about that. Let's get inside. As you head in, there's another goblin that's sitting inside at the table. And Izar had mentioned that there was somebody. She would be interested in meeting you, connecting with you. And it's a very young goblin, probably just like on the edge of teenage years, and there's a familiarity to her. Not that you've seen her, but she looks familiar. There's facial features. There's something about her that looks familiar. And she just kind of looks up as you come in, and instantly as the other 4 goblins kind of like scramble in, she just like shoves her chair back and just runs and gives Scalp like a big hug, and she's like just bawling, tears coming down her face. And there's some exchange there of just joy of being able to seeing them again, and she finally kind of looks to you and says, so you're Flick, right, Mr. Dog Slicer?
Mr. Dog Slicer was my half dad. Who the hell are you, kid?
They call me Piggy. You know Listeria, the Veruca.
Yeah, my cousins. They're great kids.
They're my older sisters.
Oh my
Well,
God.
half sisters.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
There seems to be a lot of that going around.
I mean, yeah, obviously. Um,
My full name is Pig Flu, but I got my Piggy for short. Yeah,
suits you,
like
kid.
it better.
So,
Or just leans over and says to Taylor and Dinar, they have the most interesting way of choosing names.
I'm sure they think the same of us.
I'm almost scared to ask. Did did Veruca, Styria, did they?
No, they're okay. They're free. Not
Like
from
the
Izar,
Izar?
but he's like another agent. Not my work, but
This is the way it's got to be done. Those people are brutal. You gotta free everyone. It just doesn't work.
well, that's why I wanted to meet you, because Izar was telling me about you, and we've actually got somebody on the inside, believe it or not. We got an ogre helping us. Can you believe that?
You know what?
Seems pretty good.
2 years ago, no, I would not have believed that. Since I've been traveling with these cats, I've seen a lot of wild shit, let me tell you, kid. So if you tell me you got an ogre as an inside man, I'm on board.
He's really different from the rest, he is secretly helping a lot of us in the mines for a while, like giving us extra rations, loosening up our chains and stuff so that they wouldn't, chafe so much. I don't know why. I mean, none of us know why. He's as ogre as they come. Well, obviously not, but
Sudden attack of conscience. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
something. Azra says you're busy, you got a bunch of stuff going on, but maybe when you're done with all that, we could have a bit of a homecoming and
Yeah.
break everyone out,
Yeah, that sounds great, kid.
spits in her hand, holds it out.
Nice, just loogie moistened handshake there.
Takes her hand out, sure. Nice to meet you, Mr. Dog Slicer. Thanks
No,
for
no.
rescuing these guys.
Cousin Flick, come on.
All right. And with this little bit of a reunion, you all level up.
Ooh.
Holy.
Well then.
I guess I'm getting teleportation circle faster than
Hey,
expected.
There we go.
Beautiful.
You
Been
level
looking
up
up those
to
books for a while. You figured it out.
level 13, my friends.
Oh my.
As we
Lucky number 13.
complete a bit of a hefty arc, hefty little section here.
Oh my goodness, guys! I have a 7th level spell slot.
Flick Izar promises to take good care of the goblins. He'll take them under his wing and definitely get them sorted out, get them
I think
get them
the
working,
most
get them
important thing,
secured, set up.
like make sure that they're set up and try and help them understand that it wasn't my fault.
I think things are changing. Flick. Piggy here is proof of that, I think. The story she's been telling me, things are changing.
Sounds great, and I hope I can get around to liberating everyone. Every
That's
last
the
one.
goal. It's been the goal since day one. Yeah. Red Hand doesn't exist to just free one or two. We're in it to save them all. So everyone, every wild folk, every goblin, everybody enslaved there. Anybody who's under the oppressive thumb of those bastards, we're here to get them all out. Well, you got work to take care of. Leave these with me. We'll be good. I promise.
All right. You four, don't get in too much trouble, right? Just the right amount.
I'm crossing my fingers.
Attaboy.
So that is where we will break until the new year in our campaign before we return to Enhold and pick things up there. But level 13, if you guys want to roll your hit points, feel free to do that.
I'll get the ball rolling on that. 8. Respectable.
Respectable. I think that's the lowest you've rolled.
Well, you know,
For
not
hit
every
dice
level
or-
can be a winner.
That puts you at what, like 400 down? Something like that?
I do get brutal critical with 2 dice now.
Ooh. I only rolled these
Hey,
sixes.
Torque the dragon. All right, I've got it.
Hey, I rolled a 5.
Nice.
Plus 3.
That's like the highest you've ever rolled.
I think it is. 5 plus 3 is 8. I'm up to 88, guys. I'm almost 100.
Oh, wow.
All right. Flick is going
Start-
to be taking another level.
Start calling
of
you
wizard.
keys.
Yeah.
Goes. Oh, I rolled a 1.
Oof.
Oh, no.
Reroll.
Reroll ones, yep.
Oh, we're rolling 1s. All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
There's
I
a
rolled
one
a
out
3.
there.
Hey.
That's
Still
better.
below average.
And
Better than 3.
6.
Hey.
Heck yeah. I'll take, roughly average.
There we
Nar,
go.
you have now passed me in hit.
You don't have 88?
Nope, I have 86.
Wow.
Whoa.
I also, this cloak, I didn't realize, increases my AC to 13 and adds a dexterity modifier. So my AC is now 14, everybody.
Ooh.
Yeah, it
Like-
works like mage armor.
Oh,
That's what it
man.
is, so, yeah.
I am
Moving up
harder
in
to
the
hit.
world.
I am so hard to hit right now.
I know, right? Awesome. All right. Well, that will take us into the new year. Then next week, we have our one shot with Jack, but Steel Souls will pick it up in 2024.
Oh, geez. Yeah,
I know,
that's
right? So thank you everyone for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the story, and it'd be great if you did the likes and the subscribes and all that stuff, and let us know that you enjoy it. That'd be fantastic. We're here to entertain you all and to have some fun doing it. So hopefully we are meeting those goals. But that is it for this session. So happy gaming, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.